Thank you for that, Trey. Be safe. I want to go to Joe Buccino right now. He's a retired U.S. Army colonel. Get his thoughts on what's all happening. And again, concurrently, I mean, it rains, it pours, I guess, Joe. But what do you make at this point of where, for example, just the war in Israel stands as it potentially looks to widen?
Well, the war in Israel, the IDF is trying to keep this contained into Gaza. This is going to go for months more. You know, the IDF has pulled thousands of reservists, pulled them off the front lines and brought them back into Israel. That's really an acknowledgement, an understanding that this war is going to go on for months into 2024, maybe into 2025, and there may be another front here, another front in the north with Lebanese Hezbollah. So they may need those reservists to plug in there. So the war is contained for now. They're in Gaza. But as you said, Neil, a lot happening all around this flashpoint right now. It just happens to be the 4th anniversary of the strike on Qasem Soleimani. You had this strike in Beirut, this Israeli strike in Beirut. You have the Lebanese Hezbollah commander speaking today. So all these things coming together under this flashpoint. And of course, you mentioned the last segment, Maersk still is not sending shipping containers through the Red Sea, concerns over the Houthis. Maybe the single focal point here is Iran.
You know, well, you laid it out brilliantly, Colonel. I appreciate that. But the one thing I wondered, Maersk was already talking about not coming back to the Red Sea, technically even before this Houthi attack on U.S. forces there, this latest one. And that was despite a promise of an international force to essentially protect vessels of all types in the area. So this obviously has hardened their resistance to get back there anytime soon. None of the other 15 oil tanker concerns and shipping concerns that I know of have indicated they'll return. So this is going to have a measurable economic impact. We might not see it right away, but we will see it.
One way to think about this, Neil, is that if you shut down I-95 tomorrow, all the trucks that carry commercial goods in the American East Coast would have to find another route.
Wow.
Okay, that would increase gas costs, that would increase tolls, that would increase time, and it would increase the price for all of us. It would increase costs for all of us. That's what's happening here in the Red Sea. These ships have to go all the way around the Cape of Good Hope. Okay, it adds 7 to 10 days time of travel, it increases gas costs, and it increases costs of the total costs for transport.
So when we go after these Houthi rebels, and we've taken out a few of them, and we've shown an aggressive nature to do so, of course, there are 10 times more of these attacks on U.S. forces than U.S. responses to those attacks. We will go after them in Yemen, but carefully. But certainly not Iran. And I'm just wondering what you make of that strategy and whether Iran knows it and whether Houthi rebels themselves know it.
Well, just to be clear, Neil, we have not gone after them in Yemen during this tit-for-tat. Since this war in Gaza began, we've taken out 3 Houthi ships, but that was really a defensive measure. So those 3 speedboats, they fired at a commercial shipping vessel. The commercial shipping vessel signaled a call to the American forces in the region, and then American aircraft took out those ships. So it's been very defensive so far. Everything's been very defensive. We have, in 2016, we fired on the coast of Yemen and took out Houthi gun batteries. Okay, so we have that capability. We have not done that here. Everything's been defensive. I feel at a certain point, we've got to go on offense to level set here, maybe to escalate, to go up that escalation ladder a little bit in order to gain escalation dominance. Otherwise, this thing's going to keep widening out like you're talking about.
You know, and I apologize. You're exactly right. And I just conveyed to you what I thought would be the obvious type response. It's one thing to be leery of going into Iran, Colonel. It's another to go into Yemen. I don't think that's as dangerous or risky, or is it?
It's not as dangerous, certainly it's not as dangerous or risky as firing a base onto a base in Iran. And it is something we have done, and it would send a measure. I'm frankly not sure that that would be enough to deter Iran, because if you think about Iran has subcontracted all the fighting off to the Houthis. And look at the situation Iran is in right now. Look at what they've caused. The Houthis, this militia group that operates in one of the poorest countries in the world that most Americans have never heard of, is holding the global economy at risk. So that's a great situation for Iran because none of their assets are at risk. So I think we've got to do something to escalate, to climb up the escalation ladder, really, in order to deter, in order to threaten Iran and show that we are willing to inflict pain. Iran knows we have the capability. They do not believe we have the will. And that's really the problem here, Neil.
All right. Colonel, very good talking to you. Joe Buccino, the retired U.S. Army colonel.